I honestly don't know how anyone could like a place that is rush hour 24/7, even at 11 a.m. You just can't go anywhere. This is the fastest I've gone all morning. 6 miles an hour. Okay, leaving Branson. If you guys want to see gray hair, go to downtown Branson. They're everywhere. Gray hair, walkers. I've been told people that fall over are called fallers. Anyway, it was like a old person version of The Walking Dead. Everywhere you look. Anyway, enough of that. Branson was, alright. Had a few shows. It's pretty much like Wisconsin Dells, except not as many water parks and more theaters. Anyway, heading on the road. If I full blast this the whole way through, it'll be about 9.5 hours. Debatable if I do that because I have a crooked spine and all that stuff, so I hit about 4 hours and things just start hurting. So we'll see how far I get today. Maybe the whole way, maybe not. We'll see. Well, this is going to be a really long ride home. There's supposed to be a nice scenic view off in that direction, but just pure whites as far as the eye can see. Oh, there's some trees coming in. My first Amish sighting going off right there. Here's some weird, well, not weird, but here's a theme park over here. See a couple roller coasters, a power tower. Unfortunately leaving the great state of Missouri and entering the not as great state of Iowa. Woo! Fields of opportunities. That over there is the Iowa state capitol. And that back there, I don't know if I can get in picture, is Des Moines. And look at this bridge here. Oh, crazy bridge. Here is Iowa. Lots of flat land. There's a little hill over here, but northern Iowa could quite possibly be one of the most boring places in the world. Instead of green, that's all brown. Or whenever I come through here, it's all brown, so it looks even worse than it does. But this is where all your food comes from. As a drive, it is very boring. There's some wind turbines over there in the distance. But as a whole, it is very necessary. There we go, I had an idea. Since I'm going through the middle of Iowa, there's nothing out there but flat cropland. I'll recap where I liked and where I was. So, I went out to around Chicago, drove through there. Don't do that. Lots of toll roads. They take all your money, or all your cash at least. It's highway robbery, literally. New York, that place was pretty cool. It was very big. The Met was pretty awesome. There's a lot of people out there trying to scam you with Statue of Liberty tickets and tourist tickets, saying long wait times and you don't go on the island and stuff like that. So don't listen to those guys, because not only do they not put you on the island, but they charge more. And it's just a big walking scam. Also, Times Square, it was cool, but it was small. When the ball drops, they make it look like this big, giant thing with millions and millions of people, but it's actually a pretty small place as a whole. So I don't, and the ball was surprisingly small. So would I go there to watch the ball drop? Probably not. It's really small. The ball is small. You're cramped. Well, yeah, you're cramped in there. It's just, if I was in town, maybe, but a special trip, no chance. In New York, I'd recommend going and seeing the Met. I'd also recommend, if you're staying at any length of times, get a weekly pass on the subway for like 30 bucks. Otherwise, you're gonna walk everywhere or drive everywhere, and then parking costs, or your legs are gonna go out on you like mine almost did. So I'd recommend getting a subway pass. It's really not hard to learn the subway. It's fairly easy to navigate it. You just get on the train and it takes you to where you want to go. The Statue of Liberty was cool. Ellis Island, not so cool, in my opinion. I'd recommend going and walking through Times Square just for the heck of it. Anyway, they have a new lookout on top of the new World Trade Center building down there. World Trade Center 0 or 1, or I don't know what it's called. But they want money for it, but you can go up in it and you get a big bird's eye view of the city. That would have been cool. I would have done that. I'm definitely afraid of falling, but if I'm secure, I'm 100% fine with heights. Planes, I'm fine. Tall buildings, I'm fine. But if I feel like I'm gonna fall, no. But I would have probably done that, even though the elevator would have scared me, because, you know, hundreds of feet in the air and thousands of feet in the air, and you're just held on by this little elevator cable. It just doesn't seem safe. Anyway, I would have done that, but it was foggy, and I really don't think I'd get the money's worth out of it that they wanted. So I skipped that, mostly due to the weather. It was a monsoon season. So if you're there and it's nice, I'd recommend probably doing that. You can go up in the Rockefeller, top of the rock, but that's more of the middle, more in the middle of the city, and it's not quite as high. So that might be worth it, but it's also, you know, 20 bucks or whatever they want. I'd recommend going and seeing where the buildings fell and the fountains. I never actually saw the buildings when they were up, but the fountains were cool, and just looking at them, they didn't really look like the buildings were, if that was the actual size of the building, the footprint of the building, it didn't really look like they were all that, like, wide. So they must be smaller than the actual footprint of the building. Otherwise, they were pretty skinny buildings. Also, I'd recommend going to 5th Avenue and walking down that. Not only are the expensive stores there, but there's also the cathedral there, which was a pretty sweet cathedral. It was humongous, and you could walk around in there, and they allow tourists in, and you can take pictures and do all that stuff. Light a candle. They want you to give like a $2 donation to do that, but you can. It was under construction when I was there, which is kind of a bummer, but it was a really cool place anyway. Check out Radio City. It's a cool little tiny building with lights on it that say Radio City Music Hall. It's hard to miss if you're on that street corner. Driving down the shoreline in New Jersey was pretty cool. Lots of big houses and little McMansions along the shore, but they have a big wall along the shore, which kind of takes away most of the view of the water. So you're stuck just looking at houses pretty much. Florida, Miami's pretty cool. You know, you go on the beach, there's a lot of large hotels. The actual downtown part's kind of small, but once you get off the water, the allure of Miami kind of goes away with kind of slum area. So if you stay by the water, it's fine. If you go into town quite a ways or a couple miles, Also, you can get down there with staying off the tollway. I went on the turnpike last time I went down there. That was a mistake because it was like $25 to drive on that road, which was ridiculous. The Everglades were cool. They're really flat. I didn't see any alligators, unfortunately. I did see one as roadkill though in South Carolina, I believe. I thought that was kind of weird. It was a little baby one, but it was laying there dead on the side of the road, so I felt really bad. Well, that was the one alligator I saw. I saw someone run over a turtle. The poor turtle was hurrying across the road and they hit it, the poor turtle. I instantly hated the people driving that car. Instantly, like, right when I saw the turtle, I hated them. Tampa, you could probably skip Tampa unless you're gonna go try and swim with a manatee or something. I didn't do that. It'd probably be cool, but I skipped it. Tampa, it's got a nice fishy smell, so if you're into fish, that's a good place to go. Other than manatees, I don't really know what there is to see there. Would have went to Disney World, but that's not a place you go by yourself because I guess you just don't do that. I'm not one to stand in line by myself for a couple hours to go on a ride. If I had someone with, I'd do it for sure, but by myself, nah, I don't know. Atlanta, that's a nice town. It's got the CNN Tower, the Georgia Aquarium, and Coke World. And apparently it's where the players play, according to that one rapper guy. But aside from the Georgia Aquarium, Coke World, and CNN, I don't exactly know what's there. I went to the Parthenon last time I was in Atlanta, and that was they charge you like $7 to get in there, and you get in there and then it's just a big disappointment inside. So walk around the outside, you don't have to go on the inside, it's just a big statue. Then I went to Memphis because my bro was like, Memphis is pretty cool. So I went there, and instantly a smell of throw up and urination and feces, and it's just, it had quite the funk to it. But I stayed at a pretty nice hotel, which kind of helped, and then I walked down to Beale Street, which is their little party street there, and that was also really small. It was, they say it's 4 blocks long, but there's really stuff on only 2 blocks, or 2 blocks. And my brother's been trying to get me to go eat in BB King's restaurants, but I'm not too big of a fan of fish, so I've been avoiding those. But he says the catfish is good. Take his word for it. Go check it out. BB King, he's a legend. May he rest in peace. After that, I went to Branson. I mean, if you like old people, Branson's the place to go because there's definitely lots of old people there. They have, it's like, if you like shows like country wannabe people or old tune people, they have shows every day for those people. The Dixie Stampede, the big show. You can eat supper and watch horse tricks and stuff like that. I went and saw the Buckets and Boards. They're in Branson, and they also do Disney cruises. They were really good. They're family friendly, which is pretty much everyone in Branson. And they bang on buckets and tap dance and guitar, and it was a pretty good show. And I also did the Revolutionist Magicians. I don't know if they're set up there, but I wanted to go see this other magician, but he didn't look like he was going yet. The theater said, coming soon. So that was a bummer because his promos looked pretty sweet. But I saw the Revolutionists, they were good. Lots of big flashy tricks. A pickpocket guy who was pickpocketing people, stealing their watches and stuff like that. That was pretty funny. So Branson as a whole, it was alright. I don't think it's everything the Higgins family cracks it up to be, but it was alright for a day. Now I'm driving through Iowa, that's why I did this. It's kind of boring. And I should be home tonight around 9:30, 10. And then I'll tally my miles and say adieu. Well, there's the good old Diamond Joe Casino. That means we're getting pretty close to the border. Here we are leaving Iowa and crossing into Minnesota. Minnesota. And my super dirty windshield. Look at all those dead bugs. That's the Minnesota right there. Rims on your Jeep. Rolling like a gangster. Woo! There's Minneapolis. For a size comparison with the others. Here we are back where the trip started, and let's check the miles. That's 209, 703. And to begin with, I said 204, 319 when I was pulling out. So the grand total is 5,384 miles. I went in these past, 3 weeks? It's pretty good.